Hey, so I've kind of decided to, I guess, start maybe possibly keeping a video journal. Um, this is my first time ever being on camera, at least in this aspect. Uh, I kind of maybe just wanted to tell a little bit of my story. I've got a lot of stories. They won't all be like gut-wrenchingly depressing, but they won't all necessarily be like funny ones. I have so many stories of sad things, like weird like interactions that I've had like working or just out and about. And then I do have some pretty hilarious stories between me and like friends or like family members. But coming to you today to kind of tell the world or whoever sees this, if it helps them, great. Um, my name is Chris. I am currently 31. Uh, I have in life it has been a long journey, as for most people. Um, I don't I'm not special. My trauma doesn't outweigh anybody else's. This is just my story. Um, I was actually born in Nashville, Tennessee, um, and the early years of my life was pretty normal per se. Uh, Normal. Um, my mom had me at a young age. My She was about 16, 17. My dad was way aged out. Like he was way too old for my mom. Um, like I want to say he was 25 or 26, something like that. I get a different answer every time I ask my grandmother or a family member or my mom, but he was way too old, unacceptable. But despite all of that, my mom and my grandmother on my mom's side, they tried to give me, at least at first, the most normal life that a child could have. When my dad started getting involved, that's when things got a little um, interesting. I'd also like to preface, I have ADHD. I am, there is no script. This is straight off the dome. So I might ramble, I might leave things out, but there's always a chance if somebody sees this, I can just make another video. It's not a big deal, but just a disclaimer. Um, but yeah, when my dad started getting involved, that's kind of where things started to change. Like my dad was like and I have a lot of stories about him too. My dad was like a serial cheater. Um, every half decent person my dad has ever been with, he's cheated on them. Like my first stepmom, Brandy, she was amazing. Um, she actually kind of like sparked my interest in video games. Like at the ripe age of 4 or 5, she introduced me to like, like the 90s Nintendo stuff. Um, but like, then I started playing other games. Like, I'll never forget, I would go over to my buddy, Mason's house. He was like a family friend, and the first person shooter I ever played was Doom. So I have a lot of fond memories that kind of surrounded my first stepmom. But my dad continually chose to cheat on her, and she got tired of it. She left, and I don't blame her. She apologized to me, but I don't blame her. We reconnected not long after I moved from Nashville. Um, but I don't blame her for anything. But there were eventually, like when him and my mom were together, same story. He was cheating on my mom all the time. Like my grandmother gave him money to like pay the light bill, buy me Pampers and formula. He bought some other woman groceries. He bought himself a pair of Jordans. Don't get me wrong, man. Jordans are sick, but if you got a kid, I think your kid comes first. I'm pretty sure most people would agree. Um, and then when they split up, things started getting more interesting. So my dad kind of absconded with me to my grandmother's house on his side, and there was no like agreement on custody. Like I don't. It really solely lied with my mom because my mom and my grandmother seemed to be doing all the grandparents and my mom seemed to be doing the most. My dad, for lack of a better term, didn't really do shit. That's stories I share about my dad. You'll see that's a reoccurring thing with him. He just, I don't. He's got his own things that he chooses to battle the way that he does, but like it's not healthy, and unfortunately, it really did affect me, um, as you'll come to know. But it was like a big, huge deal. The police got involved. Um, my grandmother on my mom's side, Janet, Nana Janet, she was actually friends with the chief of police, and they got in contact, and she notified him that, hey, Steve, my dad, has taken Christopher to his mother's house, and they are refusing to give him back. Well, he then made a short phone call out to it's part of Tennessee called Franklin. He made a short little phone call out to their house there in Franklin, and pretty much told them like, hey, you can um, you can release Christopher back to the care of his mother and grandmother, or he was going to send some sort of like a tactical response team to the house, and it wasn't. Everybody was going to get arrested. Everybody there was going to get arrested. My aunt, uh, my grandfather, my grandmother, of course, my dad. And if my dad would have got arrested, it would have been a big problem because they would have figured out, oh, she's 16. What's going on here? Would have been a problem. Um, so they gave me back. Um, so for the most part, like life was pretty normal after that. Um, up until about I was like 7 or 8. In the mid to late 90s, my mom, she met a man who, ironically, his name is also Christopher. Um, and Chris, as much as, because he was my father figure growing up, because like my mom kind of did the thing where like she would always like tell me bad things about my dad when I was younger. So like I was kind of like apprehensive about my dad. I remember like at a young age, my dad is a liar. Okay, he's like a pathological liar. He lies about things that make no sense to lie about. But like so like I kind of knew at an early age, like he's a liar. So like it kind of sucks for a kid, especially a boy, um, because a lot of times boys they look up to their dads. I couldn't really look up to my dad because I kind of knew at the age of 7 or 8 that like he wasn't really all that great. He's not the worst person, but he's got some seriously like not great like the lying and then the cheating and all this other stuff. So I had Chris, but the messed up part about it is um, Chris was a like big time drug dealer. He was actually one of the biggest drug kingpins, whatever terminology, pusher, dope boy that in Tennessee, if not in that region. Like it was pretty big. Like he's come in contact with people like Master P, if you even know who that is. So like really big time. But the only problem with that, and that's not the life that I would have chosen for him. We can go more on that on at another time. But he still tried to be a dad to me. Like he would take me places with him. I wasn't his stepson. I I was his son. Like, this is my son, Christopher. So like, like we did things together. Like, he played with me. Like, like all the stuff you would picture a son and a father doing. He did those things with me, and I am forever grateful for that, because I don't have any kids of my own, but I have, like, been in relationships uh, where there was a kid involved. I'm in a relationship now. I'm engaged, and my fiance, she has a son, and like, I the fatherly instincts that, like, I kind of sponged up from Chris, like, I've taken that with me my whole entire life. The way that I feel about being a dad is like, there is no other more rewarding feeling than being a dad, being a parent. Um, but it just kind of sucks because, like, I kind of